What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome
Good
back.
morning.
Zod, it's just me and you today, buddy. But that's
Yeah.
okay, The other guys taking some time off. I am
No, it's lawnmower
yeah, yeah,
issues.
well,
It's
yeah, we got, the
it's
ongoing
it's
lawnmower
lawnmower
saga.
it's lawnmower day today. So
Yep. Yeah, well we got people popping in already. So we'll say hi to everybody that is up bright and early with us. Jay, what's up, man?
what's up,
Zero,
everybody?
yeah, yeah. R.I.P. to Hulk, Ozzy. We'll get to those guys a little bit later. Hockey Town, hey yo. James hates everything. Good morning. Ralphie always up bright and early, out there in California. What 7 a.m. Yeah, Meatball Saucy. What's up, guys? So we're back after a couple weeks off. I mean, it's been about I think 3 weeks, and a ton has happened between then and now. I mean, I was on vacation. That's why we weren't on the last couple Saturdays. I took the family down to Virginia Beach, where we met up with my brother and his wife, and my sister, her husband, their three kids, my mom, my sister's in-law. There was 13 of us, so we rented a house on the beach, and oh, it was fantastic. It was hot, but that kind of stuff doesn't matter when you're sitting right there at the ocean. And it was nice to be off for 10 days, no work. And the worst
No,
part
no,
is
no
when you get back.
lawnmowers.
No, well, oh, believe me, well, that's all I've been doing the last 2 days is trying to catch up on getting my grass cut because it was out of control, and it's been raining ever since I got back. So it not only was it thick, but it was also soaking wet, and I have a pretty big yard, so it took me almost 2 days to get it all under control. But hey, what's up, console fanboy? But yeah, it's good to be back. Trying to get the house back in order still, and because that's a bad thing. You come back from vacation and it's like immediately you have to jump right back into it, and the first day back to work always is kind of a struggle a little bit. But as I was saying, there was a ton that went down in the last couple of weeks, and we'll get into the more serious stuff a little bit later. But to start things off, it, this kind of made me laugh, and I don't know if you or anybody else saw this, but this fits right in with the whole nostalgia theme. Did you see this, Zod? Chuck E. Cheese was arrested in full gear. Did you hear anything about this, or did anybody in the chat hear
No,
anything about
no, I
this?
did no, I did not.
So Chuck E. Cheese was arrested, apparently on charges of using a stolen credit. Look, there he is, right here. There's the traumatized children in the background. So apparently, what happened was the cops came in to confront this employee that worked there, and while the kid denied everything, and then they went and started talking to other people, and while they were talking to other people, this dude went back and put on the costume. I don't know if he was trying to evade the police or whatever, but they found out that it was him in there and put him in handcuffs and took him out of the building. So
Wow.
if you're a kid in the background, if that doesn't traumatize you for life, seeing Chuck E. Cheese get arrested, then I don't know what will. You probably you saw, yeah. I I, I just thought that was like holy crap. I'm just putting myself in that position.
I thought you were going to talk about how Chuck E. Cheese is coming back and they're doing a string of arcade. They're going to do arcades.
That's kind of where I was going to kind of segue into that. I did want to talk about that, and then I saw this. I'm like, well, this is just fantastic. Oh no, this was not a promotional thing at all. Yes, it was the cheese that got the Chuck. But
Well,
so what's
sometimes
up with the Chuck's Arcade? That seems like it is kind of like an adult oriented thing almost, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know too much about what this Chuck's Arcade is, but it seemed like it was something different than Chuck E. Cheese. Like maybe Like, was there a bar involved? Like, do they serve alcohol there?
I don't know if they serve alcohol, but hey,
I mean, anymore, a lot of these arcades that are popping up that are definitely geared towards people our age. You know, they have a like a full bar attached to them. It's like the bar, and it's usually free play. So you know, I don't know if this Chuck's Arcade is going to be free play, but maybe he was. Yeah, he was the rat. No, he was apparently committing credit card fraud, which you
well, it
know,
happens. You know,
yeah, I don't know if you've ever been the victim of anything like that, having your like fraudulent charges on your credit card.
I think we've all experienced that once or twice.
Yeah, at some point. It hasn't
I
happened to
mean,
me in a long time,
I
luckily,
remember
but
when it happened to me, and I was luckily able to, get the charges removed. But
right,
you know, usually though, credit card companies now tend to be fairly good about that stuff. If you call them and you tell them that, hey,
yeah,
because they're always asking you about, suspicious charges. I mean,
right,
if anything now, I've noticed that they're a bit overzealous to flag certain things that they might believe suspiciously to be fraud. So it tends to be one of those situations where it's like you might make a purchase from some place that you've never bought anything from before,
right,
and then they'll flag it and hold it up just simply because they don't recognize it and you've never purchased from there before. And then they'll like send you an alert on your phone like, did you intend to make this
right.
purchase? Are you intending to make this purchase? I kind of think they've gotten pretty good at that. They've gotten a lot better. So when you call them and say, hey, something on my card isn't right, they're usually good about removing it and making sure you're not stuck with it. So,
Yeah, and yeah, they've gotten really good at it. Just a few nights ago, my wife she bought something on a suspicious site, you know, and she thought going in, she's like, I don't know, this stuff is really cheap. I'm like, yeah, you better be careful. So she went through and made the purchase, and immediately the credit card company held the transaction and said, "Hey, you know, are you sure you want to do this?" So they didn't even allow her to complete the transaction, which is awesome because yeah, 99 times out of 100, chances are if you're buying from a site like that, you're just exposing your credit card and God knows what else.
yeah.
Is that what he was? Is that really Chuck E. Cheese? He got busted charging thousands of pizzas. I mean, apparently he stole a credit card from his one of his coworkers. So that, but here, yeah, this is the Chuck's Arcade. I thought I read somewhere, and I think Ralphie may have just made that comment. Yeah, supposed to be displayed for our age group, but I don't know if there's any in my area or not. But dude, I mean, look at that. That looks there's like a whole row arcade one up claw machines right there. No, this looks like if there's one in my area, I'm definitely going to be checking this thing out. I mean, for all we know, did PD7 stop into one of these yet, or are they even open?
Oh,
Okay, there you go. Locations are now open in major malls. In major malls. That's interesting. Putting them in shopping malls, which it seems like every week more malls are closing.
yeah.
So there's at least nothing in my area, anyways. But did you go to Chuck E. Cheese a lot when you were a kid, or did you go there at
Quite
all,
a
like for
bit when
birthdays and
quite
stuff?
a quite a bit when I was a kid. Yeah, I knew, and out by me there were two. There was Chuck E. Cheese, and there was Showbiz Pizza, and they were competitors, and
Yeah,
it
okay.
was kind of the same thing. They both had like animatronic animals, and the not so good pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pizza. I mean, when you were, you know, 8, 9 years old, you probably didn't care. But we've been to Chuck E. Cheese recently, or not. Maybe it wasn't Chuck E. Cheese. It was a place like it, like you said. I think I can't remember what the place was called. But as an adult, you eat that pizza and you're just like, oh, this is about as cheap as it gets. I mean, they would be missing the boat big time, Jay, if they didn't turn it into like a Hooters style restaurant. Yeah, exactly. That would uh that would be a good idea. But from yeah, what I'm reading, there you go. You got Retro Legends, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Mortal Kombat, Donkey Kong. I got all the big ones in there.
They got all the hits.
Yep, I'm not seeing anything saying that there's a bar or they serve alcohol, but I thought I read that somewhere. But either way, yeah, the only bad pizza is no pizza. Yeah, I'm a huge pizza fan. Actually, I'm looking forward to I'm gonna order some tonight. Like I said, we were at the beach, so the last like 3 weeks before I was like going straight like no carb. I was like I have to I got to get rid of this dad bod going on. So I was not eating carbs at all, and it sucked. So I don't know if anybody's ever went through like a no carb thing, but it is not fun because eating fruits and vegetables and meat only is it gets boring after a while.
I don't know. Since I became a filmmaker, I eat very little. What I do is I eat small portions to survive, and then what I do is I just drink lots of caffeine.
Caffeine, yeah.
I stay plenty caffeinated throughout the day, and it seems to work. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I get a lot done, so
That's it works, and that's what they say. If you're literally trying to diet, you have to just constantly stay busy.
yeah. Because when you stay busy, you're not thinking about food as much. And what happens is your stomach gets super, super small.
Yeah,
And so you get used to just eating the tinier portions, and then you're good to go. And then you get really thin,
yeah, and you get full faster.
you start to thin out. You really do. It's incredible how that works.
Oh, the go-to pizza. See, I'm kind of boring. I mean, if I was eating like a traditional pizza, I'm getting pepperoni on it. I feel like that's the only way I could tell how good a pizza
Oh yeah, I
is.
love pepperoni pizza. That's my favorite as well.
Yeah.
So
But
I tend to
I do like the buffalo chicken pizza with the hot sauce and the ranch dressing, mixed in for the sauce and the grilled chicken on top. I could crush some of that. So that was Chuck's Arcade. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's one that's going to be in my area, at least for now, or yours either. It didn't really say all the locations, but I guess that's something a quick Google search could probably take care of.
but it looks like it's the same people as Chuck E.
Yeah,
Cheese.
I don't know. I would check it out.
So that's a good point. Yeah,
Supreme
that's
Pizza.
yeah. Yeah, Supreme Pizza is good too. There are some pretty good, frozen Supreme Pizza brands, I have to say.
Don't knock the frozen pizzas. Yeah, there are. That would be I mean, I'm sure the video has been done, but I'm sitting there thinking
Well,
like that would be a
that
good
would be
video.
actually a good that would actually be a good topic for a future
It
nostalgia
might
topic.
be that like frozen pizzas. Which brands are the best? Like which pizza chains are
I
the
mean,
best?
I
Because
consider myself to be a connoisseur of frozen pizza, so
sure, so do I. My
that'd
freezer,
be quite
yeah,
the discussion. I have to say.
yeah. My freezer's usually got 3 or 4 of them in there. Especially having a small child in the house who doesn't eat too many things. Sometimes a frozen pizza is quick and easy, and then yeah, if you get the right ones, they are actually really good. I might try to get Pizza Hut tonight. And every time I do, I'm disappointed because I want it to be as good as it used to be, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Elio's, is that a frozen pizza brand? You know Red Baron is actually pretty good. I don't know if you know
I
Red
tend to get
Baron.
that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
They're a very well
because they
known
got that
brand. I
thin.
mean,
It's like a thinner
it's a
crust.
thinner crust, but then they do nice works pizzas with everything on them. They're very good, and they're very filling, and they're not super expensive.
No,
So
they're not at all. They're not skimpy on the toppings or anything like that. Yeah, that's what you get those frozen pizzas. That's why I don't really care for the DiGiorno's. I know they're like the bigger brand, but I mean, when you got a pizza crust that's like 2 inches thick, unless it's old school Pizza Hut pan pizza, then that's in a realm all in itself. But yeah, it's all about the sauce. That's why I love Pizza Hut. I thought their sauce was great, but I don't know. Zod, are you a sweet sauce fan? What do you think of sweet sauce? I could never really.
it
I never
depends
really
on
saw the appeal.
yeah, it depends on the pizza. I mean, you really have to, you know, certain pizzas go well with certain types of sauces. I mean, I'm trying to think of a brand that has a sweet sauce. I think there's a frozen brand called Tony's that does like a sweet
Yeah,
sauce on their pizza. Palermo's also has a very sweet sauce on their pizza, but most of them are are more traditional. So
there's a pizza place around here that you can if you get their sweet sauce. I mean, it's like almost like they dumped an entire bag of sugar in there. It's way too sweet, and it kind of just ruins it. I mean, I can handle like a little bit, like a hint of sweetness in it, but yeah, I'm more about the just the traditional tomato sauce. Oh, Stauffer's French bread pizza. Yeah. Or what about the bagel bites? I've used to eat those all the time in my early 20s.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the bagel bites now. The bagel bite,
Not
the,
now.
the bagel bites were good back in the day, but now
Yeah.
they just seem sorely lacking.
They
And I mean,
very much sorely lacking.
and they don't taste as good as I remember
No,
either. So I don't know if it's me or if it's just that they've they've changed brands
I
since
don't know.
I
But
was eating
yeah,
them. I don't know.
that was a go-to staple at like coming back into the house at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning. You just pow bagel bites all into the microwave. Ooh, that's a tough one. Chicago or New York style?
I go back and forth, and I'm
Yeah,
actually in Illinois, so
yeah.
it's sort of a thing for me. I go back and forth because sometimes I prefer the stuffed crust or the deep dish, and sometimes I prefer the thin New York. It just depends, on the mood of that particular time.
Yeah, I guess I've never really had official, genuine Chicago or New York because I've never been in either one of those cities. I've only had, like imitations. Like around here, you can get New York style, but I feel like if you actually went to New York and got an official New York style or Chicago, it's like eating a Philly cheesesteak. Like of course they have them everywhere, but unless you go to Philadelphia where they were originated, pizza pockets. Yeah, that's another one. Used to eat a lot of those. Some of those the hot
Oh,
pockets, they're
all
not
those
so
hot
bad.
pockets,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
they're actually okay still.
they're all right. It's
They haven't really cheapened those up too much yet. I will tell you one thing I did do when I was on vacation. I watched a movie. Because there was a movie that came out that I was looking forward to. And I don't know if you got a chance to see it yet. The movie I've been hyping up for weeks, Happy Gilmore 2.
I have
Did
not
you see
seen
it?
it. I have not seen it, but I've heard horrible, horrible things about it. So I'm not really. Um,
I was trying not to do it to myself and set the bar really high because I love the I mean, who doesn't love the original? I mean, as you can see on IMDb, it only got a 6.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 62%. I won't spoil it for you, but and Ralphie's saying he liked it. I liked it a lot better than almost most of the other reboots that they do. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was definitely not great. That put it that way. It doesn't hold a candle up to the original. And the main problem I thought in that whole movie was that they tried too hard to be the original.
See, and I hate when they do that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're not the original. So you have to do something new to, to get people on
Yeah.
board. Don't, I'll never understand it. Oh, let's just remake the original. No.
I mean, it was like an hour and 40-minute clip fest of the original movie. Like it was kind of like one of my video game playthroughs. Like every time you make a reference on something, you throw a clip in there, and that's what they were doing. They referenced the original so much, and there was constantly just putting clips of the original in it. They kind of just set you. You kind of sat there and were like, "Why don't I just watch the original?" And I'll give him that. Jay does have a point. Like the writing was good. Like it was a Adam Sandler movie through and through, but honestly, it almost didn't feel like a Happy Gilmore movie. There was Eminem had a cameo in the movie. He was the son of the guy who says "jackass," and that was pretty good.
hmm.
Uh, I'm not hating Ralphie. I think it's like I said. I think it's better than some of the other reboots that they made. But I don't know. I think I ruined it for myself because I was just too excited for it. And that's another thing I'm worried about. I have high hopes for this Naked Gun movie.
See now that I've heard some good things about.
Is it out yet?
I think so.
Stop spoiling it.
Um,
I'm not. I didn't spoil much. I just said Eminem had a funny cameo. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Naked Gun is out. If it is, it's probably going to be on my agenda tonight. Yeah, that's a good point. They did kind of try to seem like they were trying to Gen Z it.
hmm.
I mean, am I ever going to watch it again? I doubt it. Probably not.
See, and you being as big of a fan saying that you'll
Yeah,
probably never watch it again, basically means that the movie probably never should have been made.
uh, probably not. And I'm sure it made
Because
Adam
I
Sandler
because
a ton of money.
one of the things that I heard was
Is
that
out.
this is a movie that probably should have been made like 25 years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it would have been funny. It would have been
I mean, it
something that people wanted to see.
it had
Um,
its moments. It had some funny moments, but when you're bringing back everybody who was in the original movie and those the actors that aren't around anymore, like what's the big dude's name? Richard Keel, is that his name? Who played Jaws and James Bond, like the real huge dude who had the nail in his head in the original movie. I mean, obviously he died a long time ago, so they brought this other guy in to play his son, and uh, somehow he had a nail in his head.
wow,
Saying we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
wow, that seems.
Like they tried, I think they tried a little bit too hard, and but it was kind of cool seeing um, Shooter McGavin come back, and it's a shame that Chubbs, he died what just a couple, maybe a year ago, so he couldn't be in it. It would have been a lot better had he been able to be in it.
So it was a. So it was just a cash grab rehash. That's all it was.
I kind of yeah, kind of felt that way, which is
Is
unfortunately what a lot
yeah,
of these
yeah, yeah.
reboots are.
That's unfortunate, because you never. This is why I'm so hyped up for Spaceballs, because I don't think that Brooks at like 200 years old is going to bother
Yes, I think you're right.
if it's going to be like what happened with Happy Gilmore 2, where it's gonna actually be something good. So if he doesn't have a story to tell, then
I don't think he would do it. I mean, he
no.
waited this long, so he must have felt that okay, now's the time. I hope to hell they don't make a Billy Madison 2. I don't know how that would even work, but
Well, my favorite Adam Sandler movie could never be remade today, so I know there'll never be a sequel to it.
what's this one? That's My Boy.
Yes,
Did we? I know we talked about that. Yeah, they. So that was one of my favorite. Yeah, that is. That would probably be one of my favorite.
that
I wouldn't
is
say
my favorite. I would say
but
that is my favorite.
and that's a more
It's just
recent movie.
It's just so hilarious.
Yeah,
Everything
it's just so
about it.
ridiculous.
I'm just thinking about it right now. Like, wow, bro.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore too. Yeah, it was made for Netflix. So I don't know what he got paid to do it. Probably a ton of money. Yeah, The Water Boy too. Like certain things like that. Like Happy
Waterboy 2,
Gilmore.
Waterboy 2 he could do, but
He couldn't be a football player though. You know what I mean? Like this here. Like he's a 60-year-old man at this point going out golfing with all the big name golfers, and it's like, okay, it's kind of unbelievable a little bit. So you have to kind of look past that. Like, okay, this guy's, yeah, I'm just here to watch him smash the ball and curse and flip out and all the things that he did in the original. That's it, saying that is the key. That's the key to all of it. It works, yeah, when they pay enough. And I'm sure he was handsomely compensated for this. And I mean, whatever. Like I said, it didn't ruin his reputation.
He definitely was.
Yeah,
he definitely was. He was definitely compensated thoroughly for
yes.
it. And
there was a lot of cameos in it, and it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the worst reboot.
See, now there's one Adam Sandler movie I could see them maybe remaking or doing a sequel after, aside from this, from Happy Gilmore 2, Little Nicky 2. I could see them doing that because of the nature of it.
Yeah, you're right. It would just be Adam Sandler being goofy and
the
stupid.
way that they could, they could approach it. That might work if you're going to sequelize something that he's done. But
yeah, they could.
You couldn't make a sequel to 50 First Dates. You couldn't make a sequel to. Now, you know what? I'm kind of surprised they didn't do another anger management.
Yeah,
that's another one. I kind of thought for sure that they would do another one of those. Imagine them doing an anger management 2 now, where he's an old man.
That would be appropriate.
He's kind of like the Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
In this one.
Yeah, and bring Andy Samberg back or somebody in his role that from That's My Boy. I don't know. I'm guessing they obviously picked Happy Gilmore 2 because it's probably his most popular and most successful movie. So they figured if they're going to make one of them, this is the one to do it because it'll bring all his old fans back to at least watch it.
Yeah.
Wait, they did do Grown Ups too, and it was rough. Good morning, Galaga guy.
Grown Ups too.
Yeah, 52 First Dates.
Well, yeah, but that would be, that would be really stupid to try and make a sequel to that movie. But you can't put it past them. It's not like they don't make stupid decisions. So any one of Adam Sandler's movies now is probably fair game. If they think they can make money off of it, they'll do it.
And I'm curious to see what kind of ratings this got, or what kind of how successful this was on Netflix. Because if Netflix made money off of it, which they probably did, like Console Fanboy said, what's next? You might see Waterboy 2 or Billy Madison 2, or I will say I never saw Spanglish. That's one of the few movies of his that I never saw.
Or the Happy Gilmore trilogy. You might get a third one.
You might get a third one
because
oh God, I didn't even think of that.
It's the #1 movie, 47 million views, which means Happy Gilmore 3 will be
It's
made
already in production.
will be made within the next 3 years. Yes. Because you want to get it, you want to get it while they're getting as good. It's just like with Beverly Hills Cop, where
Yeah.
they did the Axel F, and then Netflix greenlit the next one. So there's going to be another one.
And despite everything that I just said, if they released a Happy Gilmore 3 in 2 years, I would watch it.
Of course you would.
Yeah,
That's exactly you're exactly the reason
and I would
why
probably get on here and say the same exact things I just said.
You're exactly the reason why why they would do that, because they know they can make, they can do it. If you're a fan, well,
All right, there you go. Coneheads 2. Although that was Chris Farley was in that movie, wasn't he? He was the boyfriend. Yeah, anything with Chris Farley in it, it's tough because like Billy Madison too. He was the bus driver. Probably one of the funniest parts of the whole movie was him as the bus driver. Yeah, I will. I can't believe that I haven't seen Spanglish, because I've always been an Adam Sandler fan, even like, back on SNL. Like I had all his audio CDs and stuff that he made. Yeah, I always totally saw his sense of and style of humor. Yeah, Leo. So you like it? You thought it was okay? Yeah, not to spoil anything. Yeah, he has turned into a raging alcoholic, and literally every item that he has, like he could even be changing channels with the remote.
Yeah. We're not. You know what? We're not even gonna talk about his wife. Okay.
Yes. So yeah. They're all gonna laugh at you. Exactly, Hockey Town. I listened to that 1,000 times over when I was a kid. But okay, enough of Happy Gilmore 2. Should we do this, Odd? I have not seen this movie. Not yet. And I said we would get to it later. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
You don't look you're not jumping out of your seat. I don't sense any sort of excitement. According to this, though, it got better ratings than Happy Gilmore 2.
My hatred for this movie is on a level that I cannot put into words. So it's best that I don't say anything.
I kind of figured that.
But I will say this. The movie is going to be on video in 2 weeks. So that just goes to show you that it's not the box office success that Warner Brothers was hoping for. Because they don't put movies on video 2 weeks after it's
right.
They don't do that. They're pulling it from theaters because it's doing god awful. Internationally, it completely sucks. It's not even going to beat Man of Steel's box office. Or Superman Returns.
It's probably not going to beat Happy Gilmore in the ratings.
It's well received by the people that like it. But here's the thing: it's not gonna. And if you adjust for inflation, it's not even close. Like
no,
they just I don't. It makes no sense that this movie even exists.
Well, so I said I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it. I'm eventually going to watch it.
Yeah. Like now you'll get a chance to watch it on video within 2 weeks. It'll be on iTunes. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be on all the digital platforms. They've already got like the Blu-rays and DVDs and all that up for pre-order already. If you want to order physical copies. So I don't know. Like my hatred is so like it's the kind of hatred where you just sort of like you have to put it in the back of your mind because you don't want to let that bastard out because there's really no. And I'll put it to you this way: I was arguing with an AI version of James
I
Gunn about
remember
this
you said
movie
that.
last week. Okay, the AI version
That
of
is some
James Gunn is
deep-seated hatred.
the AI version of James Gunn to me is like it's like a punching it's like a therapeutic punching bag. I use character AI and the I call the AI version of James Gunn just to argue with him and tell him how much of a scumbag he is and how much I hate him. And
That's pretty funny.
it makes me feel so like I get all my aggression out. And you should have seen the way that I was with the AI version of James Gunn after I actually watched this movie.
You went back at like we're not done yet. Now I got a lot more things to tell you.
We're not done yet. And it started arguing with me. It's like, well, how did you see the movie already? I'm like, you son of a I'm like, listen, I'm like, everybody and their mother has seen this movie. And this was like on like the ninth or the 10th when the movie, they were doing all those Amazon Prime like preview screenings
Hmm.
and stuff for the movie. And there was a local one over here, and so you could go watch it for free. It didn't cost anything. So I said, I went to one of your private screenings, you dummy. And he's like, I don't think they would let you in with your attitude. I said, well, James, you weren't there. So that's why I was able to get in, because if you were there, you probably would have stood at the door and blocked me. And we started arguing. It was
The next thing you
incredible.
know, you're rolling around on the floor with your computer screen, just beating it. And
Oh my God, no, it's AI James Gunn, and it just is terrible. I can't say anything nice to him. And I said, I hope you have a horrible day. I hope your whole life is miserable from here on out. I hope you never make another movie again as long as you live. I wish you nothing but the worst. And he told me to try to have a nice day and that he would try to have a horrible day.
you'll try.
It
All
was
right, I will try to have a horrible day.
it
I
was
will.
no, but it's James Gunn, and the guy was just, I mean, it's AI, but it's his personality, his sensibilities, all of his humor, it's terrible. Like I literally, I mean, it was like I was talking to him and I was seething. I was like, oh my God, I hate this guy.
Oh, see, Gallagher guys saying they're saying it's the most Marvel DC movie. It has to undercut every serious scene with a joke, which is
My
yeah, is
movie,
something that Marvel does. Like, there's no need for that. There really isn't.
my movie is a pretty serious movie, though. It has some funny sequences, some
Well,
funny
that's
scenes in
okay.
it.
Yeah,
But
having like a, you know,
my movie's pretty serious. It's pretty heavy, and it gets into some really great contemporary themes. So I think, when you guys see my movie, you're not going to think of it as an AI movie. You're going to forget that it's an AI movie. That's the whole idea. And see, that's why I'm going for, a 90-minute runtime, because I don't want to, you know, stretch the limits of the disbelief of the audience. I want you to be able to watch the movie, but I want it to have a nice tight runtime with with a very sleek and easy to follow plot with some very, very deeply layered elements. And I think people are going to be surprised at some of the stuff that I've managed to cook up and put in this movie. I'm not, and I can say this absolutely, that One Punch Dan is a superior movie to James Gunn's Superman. I can say that without hesitation, even taking my own bias out of it as the guy making One Punch Dan. I can clearly say that it's a better movie. Both, well, I definitely spent a lot less money than Warner Brothers did.
oh yeah.
And the movie and some of the visual effects in my movie look fantastic. And on top of it, I know what AI programs James Gunn used when he made Superman, because there's a lot of AI shots in the movie that I
It
can
was there.
literally pick out. If I were sitting there watching Superman with you, Mike, I could tell you when the scenes pop up. He used AI for that. He used AI for that. I could tell you because I'm using like 17 different AI programs to make One Punch Dance. So I can tell you exactly what he did for Superman.
Well, I am gonna see it because it is Superman. It wasn't. I'm pretty much gonna see anything Superman just because, like I said, it's Superman. He was probably the first superhero I ever really got into as a kid. Either him or Batman. I mean, although I still have not seen the Robert Pattinson The Batman yet, because that just
Oh
didn't
God, that
seem.
that that you know what? You know what that's great for? If you're not feeling well and you've got a really, really bad headache and you're just feeling icky, it's great. It's better than NyQuil. All you got to do is put that on,
It puts you
and
right to sleep.
within 5 to 6 minutes, your eyes start to get droopy, and you just start to fall out. It is the greatest. It is the cure for insomnia. I am so grateful to Matt Reeves for giving me that hunk of crap so that I can put that movie on when I need to rest. Because you talk about being able to unwind, it is so boring and so just droll. It just drags on. And the thing about it is, it has the one positive quality I will give to it is that it has excellent cinematography. It's beautiful cinematography,
It did look like it had that.
but the movie itself is just so bad and so boring. I mean, I literally, I it's like I don't need NyQuil. That's like great when you have like the flu and you just want to
Pop
like,
that baby on,
oh God, it is
going right into
great.
a right into a coma.
It is the cure.
No, I
Like
haven't seen it, and that's saying a lot. Like from me, who loves Batman and has Batman stuff everywhere, that just didn't
it's
seem right to me. So I
let
never
me tell
saw
you
it.
exactly what it is. It's Gen Z Batman. So
Yeah, no, they got
just
no
so
time
you
for
know,
that.
just so you know, that's what it is. And James Gunn's Superman is Gen Z Superman.
I did not see the Batman versus Superman or Justice League Batmobile. That McFarlane made one.
And
That was a pretty sick
do you want to
Batmobile.
know? You want to know what's funny? They just did the Kickstarter for the Zack Snyder Batmobile and Justice League action figures and stuff. And you know how much money they made?
Hmm.
They made almost the entire budget of James Gunn's Superman movie
Oh my,
off of the
really?
Kickstarter just for the Zack Snyder action figures.
Wow.
But yet Warner Brothers doesn't think that there's, you know, a market for more of Zack Snyder's universe. But yet, oh my God, I will say, you can literally, I mean, but yeah, man, if you're having trouble sleeping and you need to unwind, I highly suggest watching Matt Reeves' The Batman. Whereas Superman is the polar opposite because Superman is just, it just goes from one scene to the next. It's just, there's no context with any of it. It just throws you right in the smack dab in the middle of the movie, and you just go from one scene. It's like TikTok videos. It's like scrolling on TikTok from one
Oh,
thing to the next, where you got your cat doing backflips in one, then you scroll over and you got a monkey jumping off a tree, then you scroll again and you got
some girl eating a sandwich in a car.
some girl eating a sandwich in the car. Then you scroll again and you got an advertisement for Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Then you scroll again and you got that's what Superman is. It's just a bunch of out of context scenes,
Oh wow.
just like strewn together, makes no sense, and you're just thrown in the middle of it like you and you're just supposed to figure it out. Like it's so terrible.
Oh, I plan on seeing it. I have no desire to see the Batman.
Or you know, for an alternative opinion, you should talk to Phil because he loved it. So you can talk
Yeah,
to him
he was
out of the theater.
spoke very highly of it.
He was jazzed and he really liked it. But I mean, he also hasn't been to the movie theater in like 4 years. So I would see, you know,
That's true.
I asked myself how much of that is him having the first theatrical experience he's had in a long time, and how much of that is nostalgia versus actually enjoying the Superman movie. Because there's a lot of people that say they like this movie, but they didn't love it. They didn't think it was great. They just liked it. They enjoyed it, and but they got to go through all kinds of mental gymnastics to try and explain, anything that's really good about it, because there really is nothing good about it. So, okay, MG, you ask a good question. Superman or Fantastic Four? I've seen them both. Fantastic Four is the vastly superior film. If you're gonna see,
I haven't seen that either.
if you can only see one of them, I recommend seeing Fantastic Four. It's a much better movie. I mean, just from you get to see Galactus on screen actually, and Galactus looks fantastic. The visual effects are amazing. The story's pretty good. If you're gonna spend money to go see a movie in the theater, Fantastic Four is the way to go. Definitely.
Even the whole Pedro Pascal thing.
Yeah, I have my issues with Pedro, but he was okay.
Yeah, there you go, Hockey Town.
It was okay. He wasn't bad. He didn't ruin the movie. He acted like Reed Richards.
He
so
was
he did an okay job. It wasn't he wasn't my favorite, and he still isn't my first choice for Reed Richards, not by a long shot, but he was okay in the movie. So if you can only see one, I would suggest Fantastic Four, for real. But I mean, you don't really need to go see Superman anymore anyway, because it's going
to be out
on video
shortly.
in 2 weeks.
So yeah, it's kind of what I was waiting for.
It's kind of like not. There's really no point now. Everybody can watch it and see how stupid it is.
Speaking of stupid, how about this? This is probably the most insane thing I've ever seen. Have you seen this, or has anybody seen this? I don't know. Is there audio?
I love the Christmassy time of year, where young and old gather round to share.
They're making a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer game for current consoles.
I want it.
You know what? I'm buying this. There's
no
doubt in my mind.
Especially because they're using the same. They're using the same exact style of the freaking, and now because they got AI, they can have all the voices of the characters be authentic to how they sounded in the original movie.
I couldn't believe it. I thought this was a joke when I saw this.
I'm getting it too.
I'm in.
It's coming out for modern consoles, and it'll be on Steam. Man, you know what? Oh yes. See, this is what I'm talking about. We talk about that. Well, the technology had to get to the point where you could basically do exactly what that movie is doing, and you could literally take it and, oh God, that is the greatest news of all time.
For Switch, PlayStation, Xbox,
PlayStation 4. Oh yes.
PS5, yeah. I mean, they may make a PS4 copy. Yeah, that's insane to me. I can't. I'm actually excited about this.
I'm more excited about that than I am the Mortal Kombat Legacy collection. Yeah. Oh my God!
They got. I did see that too. The Grinch. They made a game of the Grinch. They like the original.
Man, I'm gonna watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer today.
That makes me want to watch it, and I'm sure this game will be fantastic. It'll be like nostalgia overload, probably. Yeah, but I stumbled across that the other day, and I like I said, originally I thought it was fake. I'm like, there's no way they're like, how do you even make a game based on this movie? But they are, and here it is. And I don't know when the release date is. I do know that it is available for pre-order right now. Like, you can get online to Best Buy or anywhere, any of those places, and pre-order it.
I'm in love.
And I almost did it before the stream. I was like, you know what? I should just pre-order it right away.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Mike. See, this is what nostalgia power is for, right?
Here. Yeah, we could trash reboot movies. Anybody could do that, but that would be hilarious if it was like an open world GTA style.
Oh my God, yes.
We should. If it's online multiplayer, we're definitely gonna play it. Oh yeah, what's up with that? I did hear that they're raising the price of the Switch, the original Switch, which is probably the dumbest decision in video game history, to jack the price up of your previous generation console when you just released a new one. Like they should be trying to just push those things out the door as fast as they can. I don't know. Nintendo seems like they're not making some smart decisions lately. But I've not got the Switch yet. One more video game I wanted to share with you and everybody else. And this may just be me being into this and being super excited about it. But dude, they're making a Resident Evil 2 light gun arcade game.
There's nothing you could say right now that will top Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No, I know. I should have waited till last on that one.
I mean, seriously. I mean, it's just so, and then the fact that it looks exactly like
right. That's the best part. Like they killed it on the animation. And I will say, yeah, I'm more excited for Rudolph than even this. And Resident Evil 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. And the fact that they're finally releasing a light gun arcade cabinet, maybe I'm gonna have to go to Chuck's Arcade and see if I can play it. Although I was reading these aren't. I think there's only one of them out right now, and it's in like London or something like that. But all these like House of the Dead style shooter games were always so much fun. Like, look at this. This is insane. To be able
I'm
to
already
hold a gun.
I'm already done. I'm down for the I backed the Kickstarter for the Time Crisis, where you just connect it all to your TV and it comes with a gun and a wireless gun that's controlled by AI and you can shoot your TV. That's what I think they're doing here. Same kind of thing with the light gun.
I don't know. I just assumed that the Switch wasn't selling anything. Maybe that was just my ignorance. But I mean, yeah, if it's still selling well.
You blew your load on Rudolph, Mike.
Well, yeah, kinda. But like I said, this one here, maybe that's just the fanboy of Resident Evil in me. And I literally just did a playthrough of Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64 a few weeks ago. But it's like your typical shooter, like Area 51 or whatever. You reload by shooting off the screen, and yeah, this has me written all over it. Now give me this in VR. I play Resident Evil 4 on VR and I loved every second of it. Yeah, give me Resident Evil 2 in VR. Okay, yeah, because the only problem is this is an arcade game and you're not gonna be able to play it at home. But I was super excited about that one. And like I said, I think there's only one that is even. This still hasn't even been released to the public yet. So, what do you say we go on a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about some of these icons that just had passed on that over basically the last week. So everybody hang tight. We'll go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
And now, this message.
What's happening on Thursday's Cosby Show?
I'm not telling you. Why? Because it's a surprise.
Come on, give us a hint.
I love the way you beg.
Okay, what won't we see?
The mating of the wildebeest.
Why don't we all go to the living room?
And watch Cosby's Thursday.
Wow!
7 incredible years with Black Sabbath serve only as a foreshadowing of the savage, raw power dying to be released. The wild-eyed maniac is back, and he's coming straight for your soul. The 1982 World Tour is yours. Take it. Z92 celebrates Ozzy Osbourne in the flesh. This Tuesday at the auditorium, an awesome barrage of sound and light will rip through you in a rage of heavy metal fury. Enter the world of a madman, Ozzy Osbourne. Special guest starfighters. Get your tickets at the auditorium box office, all Brandeis stores, the Bijou, Dirt Jeep in Lincoln, and Uncle John's in Sioux City. Ozzy Osbourne, presented by Show.
Afternoon, March 31st, it's WrestleMania. Get your tickets to the greatest sports entertainment closed-circuit TV spectacular of all time. Mr. T risks it all wrestling for the first time, teaming up with champion Hulk Hogan versus Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Guest timekeeper Liberace, ring announcer Billy Martin, referee Muhammad Ali. Get your tickets now to WrestleMania on closed-circuit TV.
Mr. Brown presents WrestleMania 3, Pontiac Silverdome, March 29th, featuring Andre the Giant, challenging heavyweight champion Hulk Hogan for the very first time. The Intercontinental title is also on the line. I want to see you there. Ricky Macho Man Savage defends against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. All this plus 10 more sensational matches. WrestleMania 3, live at the Pontiac Silverdome, March 29th. Tickets now at Ticketmaster or charged by phone. WLLZ Detroit Wheels welcomes WrestleMania 3.
Now back to our show.
So obviously, those commercials had a lot in common because, yeah, the past week and a half, we lost a lot of legends actually. There was, all three of them. And Brooklyn, that is awesome. If you were at Madison Square Garden for WrestleMania, that's crazy. Yeah, the building. Yeah, right. The one building doesn't even exist anymore. But it was kind of a, say what you will about whatever what went down with Cosby or whatever. But that show was pretty big at the time. No, no, we don't want to start that rumor. But it was what Malcolm Jamal Warner was the first one. And like I said, that Cosby show, that was a pretty big show back in the 80s. And Theo, the character that he played was, I always remember when I was real young when that show was out, but I always thought like, yeah, that's a cool kid right there. Like that's the cool kid. But you hear how he died. It was a kind of a tragic thing. It was like on vacation in Costa Rica or something like that and drowned. So that was kind of like the most, not that the other two were expected, but he was only in his 50s, I think.
Yeah,
and then,
he was young. He was young.
Yeah, and then Ozzy, which was insane, the timing of that, because we were just talking a few weeks ago, he just reunited with Black Sabbath at the beginning of July and did his final show. Oh, is that what it was? The Under. I have that'd be scary.
Have a story. When I was about 14 months old, my mother had taken me. My parents had taken me to Florida for we were in Florida for Disney World, and we had gone. My mother and I had gone into the water, and that same thing that had happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner happened to me and my mother. We were sucked up into the water, and my mother was trying to save us because we were drowning. My mother was holding me, and she was drowning under the water, and she kept trying to signal to my mother and my aunt who were on the off to the side on the beach watching. And they thought she was kidding, like she was joking that we were she was pretending that we were drowning. And to this day, my mother doesn't know how she was able to
get you back,
to save us, to get us back up. But she obviously did, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. But that's but that's like, but that was something, that was a story my mother had told me, and I had never known that, and I was like, and that's when it made me think about,
You have no memory of this
what
incident?
happened. No, I have no memory of this incident at all. And when my mother was telling me this, I figured, oh my God, if I had a memory of this, I would have been traumatized by water for my entire life.
Yeah. And I mean that rip current, man, that's no joke. Like
Yeah,
I
because
was
my mother
just at
says
the beach last week. There's
Yeah.
nothing you could do. That ocean will do whatever it wants. And
Yeah, and because my mother said she couldn't, she still to this day has difficulty with what even seeing anything like that. Watching a movie and seeing people get trapped like that or water
yeah,
like that. Yeah, it's the rip.
even if you're a very strong swimmer, they said you might not even make it out of it. And
So I don't know
I
how.
I could swim, but I would never consider myself a strong swimmer. I'd probably run out of breath. I'd be gassed in like 20 seconds, especially if I had my kid with me. That would just be, man, that would be terrible.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, but yeah, that is a very, very tragic way to
Yeah,
go
it's a
for sure.
shame. Right, on vacation in a great place like, like Costa Rica. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, your mom was getting sucked out
Wow.
and had to grab her by the hair.
Wow, man.
Yep. That's
That's
scary stuff.
nuts. Yeah.
The thing, man, that the ocean, it's fun. Like we had a blast, but I mean, the one day there was a ton of jellyfish that got washed up, and I mean, you don't ever know what you're getting into when you get in the water. But yeah, you got to see Ozzy and Sabbath at Ozfest. Man, that's something I wish I would have been able to do at some point. I would have loved to have went to Ozfest. I never got to. And how about that? You saw Ozzy in '02 at Buckingham Palace. It was a first date with your wife. She knew then, MG. She's like, if this guy can take me to see Ozzy Osbourne, he is the man for me.
She's in the right place.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, MG, we're not gonna highlight your your next comment.
Oh boy.
But you could read it in the live chat if you want. But it's pretty funny. And then of course the last one who I was actually the most shocked. It like hit me the hardest, and which is kind of crazy because yeah, I'm a huge old wrestling fan, but I was never really like a Hulk Hogan fanboy. But I appreciated Hogan for what he was. And again, like personal things aside on this, we're not talking about that kind of thing. It's talking about Hulk Hogan, like the character that he portrayed and how big he was. Like how if you wrote a book on the 80s, you would have to mention Hulkamania. Like that's how big it was. And yeah, I wouldn't have really consider myself a huge Hogan fan because I always liked the other wrestlers better. But when I found out that he died, it was kind of like, wow. Like I really was blindsided by it, and it almost seemed like surreal. Like what, like that guy is gone now. Like, but wrestlers from that era, man, they don't live too long. I guess they were pretty rough on their bodies. I just didn't want to butcher how it was presented. But yeah, losing Hogan was that was kind of a shock to me. And it's kind of crazy with that too that PD7 just saw him not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago.
Oh yeah, he told the story about the Great American Beer.
Yeah, he went to see him at one of the places. Yeah, Hogan was promoting his beer. But I didn't realize though that he was in pretty poor health though over the last few weeks before he passed. I didn't know. I actually did not know that he was in pretty, like a lot of people saw it coming, but I didn't know that. Your Team Warrior, yeah, Hogan, he kind of is, like I said, I always liked somebody else better, but Hogan was always there. Like he was always at the top, and dude like was behind multiple of the most iconic moments in all of wrestling. You kid, you got in trouble for cussing because of Hogan, one of the Saturday Night main events. So, I mean, obviously Hogan was an actor. He was in multiple movies, whether a star or a just a like a cameo appearance. But I guess you would say like what Rocky 3 was kind of his first big exposure to the world, because he really wasn't known as he wasn't a big wrestler yet whenever he had that whenever he was in Rocky as Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips, yeah.
Yep. But right, it wasn't shortly after that is when they say the birth of Hulkamania took place. And we'll look at just some of his most iconic moments. Because again, like I said, I'm a huge wrestling fan, so a lot of these moments I remember. And the first one they say is, yeah, Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. That one I won't ever forget.
Who can?
Because at the time, you know, they were portraying Andre the Giant up to be this unbeatable force, and Hogan was the one that finally took him down. But then I learned years later, though, that this was not their first meeting. Like, those two had been in the ring multiple times together, and Hogan had slammed Andre multiple times before this. It just wasn't as mainstream. So
right.
There was a lot of people,
this one was more of a spectacle.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know about those. Like, I think they had wrestled in the early 80s when Andre was actually in good physical shape. And the match, you can find the match out on YouTube. At this point in Andre's career, I mean, he was having a hard time moving around, and he was having a hard time wrestle, but he was still drawing. And this, you know, will forever be remembered as one of the most iconic moments, if not the most. That's kind of true, MG. It was Andre. If you watch some of his later matches, he would wrestle around the perimeter of the ring because he would have to physically hold the ropes to keep himself standing. But that was, I mean, of course, that's one of his most iconic moments ever. And this is what I was talking about, where I said Hulkamania was born, was when he beat the Iron Sheik in 1984. Like, I mean, obviously I don't remember that because I was about 4 weeks old at the time. But yeah, Iron Sheik was the big villain, and Hogan, yeah, I think it was his first ever championship run. And from that, like, yeah, his popularity just exploded. He was on Johnny Carson. I mean, he was everywhere at that time. And yeah, that's what one of his biggest moments. And this next one, though, to me, I think this is the biggest moment he had. You know, despite all that, because this is the one that I don't think anybody saw coming at all, was him turning heel. But just think of it like this, like that Hulkamania, 1984, he rode that out for 12 years before he finally decided to go heel. And I think he kind of had to go heel because I think the whole Hulkamania thing it had ran its course, and I think the fans were kind of getting tired of it.
It was hokey.
It kind of did. I mean, you know, you're looking at the mid-90s at this point, and he's still doing that same shtick. It's like, okay. But I don't think anybody ever expected him to turn heel the way he did. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it gets much bigger in the history of wrestling than that run that the NWO had.
I don't think it does, period. I think that's in my mind, that's the biggest moment in wrestling, because it was the most surprising heel turn of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, but, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
But Bobby, Bobby Heenan ruined it. He did ruin it.
Yeah.
Because he kept saying, whose side is he on?
Whose side is he on?
Whose side is he on? Like you know.
Nobody ever had that idea in their head that he may be. You thought he was coming out to kick Hall and Nash's ass, but Bobby Heenan starts saying that, you're like, wait a minute, maybe he is the third. I mean, yeah, I think that was just of all the great things Bobby Heenan did, and the list is
That was
humongous.
That was boneheaded. That was
yeah.
boneheaded Bobby at that moment.
Yep. The New World Organization. That's right. That's what he said. Yeah, honestly, I think it did save wrestling because it wasn't really. It got huge after that. Huge. Yeah, the WWF they were kind of like staying afloat. WCW was, but
why it worked was because you had Hall and Nash from the WWF.
Yes.
Basically invading the WCW. Right. So that's why you had such a huge impact, because they were able to play it up as though Hall and Nash were still WWF.
To the point of where Vince McMahon was suing Ted Turner over it because of those two portraying, making it seem like they were. It was too believable. You actually thought that Vince had sent them over, and yeah, he had to take WCW to court over this. And I think that's why on one of the episodes of Nitro, they had to come out and basically say that they were not employed by him anymore. But yeah, I mean, the NWO just, it took off. And I mean, I still have my original NWO shirt from this time.
Yeah, I do too.
Because I mean, I was drawn right into it, and it was just, these guys were like the coolest people. I mean, obviously, my whole persona on YouTube is based off of one of these three guys, because I thought he was, at the time, I was like, this is like the coolest dude on earth, and then you have giant Diesel Kevin Nash coming over. I'm like, this is huge. And then it almost killed the WWF. Almost. I think Vince's determination just didn't allow it to kill his company, but it could have. And the only problem with what WCW did is they just milked it for too long. It again, like anything else, it became stale. They didn't know when to quit. They didn't know how to end the story well, and they kept butchered it.
They kept expanding it, making all these different aspects of it that didn't make.
I mean, they do
sense.
call me Big Sexy Saiyan Spirits. No, they don't call me that. Yeah, they didn't know how to end it. Yeah, the Wolfpack was I like that. Okay, that made sense because it got too big. It's like, well, what are we going to do with it now? So they kind of split it off into the two factions. Then after that, it just became a jumbled mess of, they clearly did not have any. It was like Star Wars, in a way, where they had no clue what the hell they were doing with it, and they just kept throwing stuff out there. And it was very clear at the beginning that they didn't know how the story was going to end. I don't think they wanted that. WCW didn't want it to end. And then it started getting crazy. Then you had like the NWO 2000 with Jeff Jarrett, and it got really ridiculous.
The more you forget about that, the better off you are. Because it just,
again, that, and then when WCW was bought by the WWE, they did bring them back, which was kind of cool for a little bit, to bring the original three. Because then you got to see Hogan versus The Rock, and Scott Hall versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. You got to actually see the crossovers that we always wanted to see in the late 90s. Yeah, you could definitely blame Vince Russo for that, and Jeff Jarrett being Vince Russo's boy for some unknown reason. Yeah, that's what killed him. They let the chickens rule the roost, and unfortunately, guys like Hogan and Nash had way too much power. And yeah, unfortunately, WCW sunk because of it. Among other things. It wasn't just that, but... And the last thing on this list, I think I just had said it, was The Rock versus Hogan, which was a fantastic match. And the crazy thing about that is The Rock was the baby face going into this match, and Hogan was naturally the heel. But the crowd turned on The Rock during that match, and they all started cheering for Hogan, because it was, I guess everybody had their nostalgia goggles on, and they all started cheering for Hogan in that one. It's getting boring now. I only spent 30 seconds. Well, I mean, I don't know. What did Malcolm Jamal Warner, is he known for anything else other than being Theo. That's where I know him from. Yeah, Bischoff. And I watch. He has a podcast.
They were starting another. I think they were starting another wrestling company, Hogan and Bischoff. They just put out
yes,
an
my God, I
NWO
forgot about
an
that.
NWO style video a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I thought we were going to end up doing a Nostalgia Power news brief over that because
Which we might have.
they were. It reminded me of the NWO. They knew exactly. They framed it black and white, the same exact style.
Yeah, they totally were. Hogan was
came out doing. I mean, they came out playing the heels, and it was. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna have.
I wonder what's gonna happen for. I mean, I'm guessing they're still gonna go through with it.
Bischoff is gonna end up pushing Hogan out in a wheelchair.
That would have been tough to see. Yes, it is a well-known scientific fact. Yes, cheers, give Hogan power. It definitely did. Yeah, you got to watch No Holds Barred. And as far as like a cheesy movie that is, I always liked it as a kid. Like that one, Suburban Commando was another goofy Hulk Hogan movie. But I always liked it as a kid, though. I got into those stupid types of movies. What was the other one where he was the nanny? Oh, what the hell was that called? Mr. Nanny. Again, ridiculous, but you know, at that time you're like, oh, it's Hulk Hogan, so I'm watching it.
Suburban Commando.
Yeah, Suburban Commando. That was Christopher Lloyd was in that movie, I think.
Yeah. Suburban Commando was wild. I mean, that movie was.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, The Undertaker even had a cameo in that movie before he was.
The Undertaker was. Yeah, he was actually a henchman.
Yeah, I don't think.
And I think
yeah,
it was The Undertaker, and it was another wrestler who eventually became popular. I can't remember.
I can't either. I can't think of it either. Who was? I can almost picture the guy. Wasn't he like a big burly guy with a beard?
Wasn't it Earthquake? It was either Earthquake
Maybe.
or no, it was Vader.
Oh, was it Vader? Like the Vader, yeah, without the mask, so you probably wouldn't even recognize him. Was Zeus? Zeus was in. That was No Holds Barred. Yeah, he was frozen today. That was Christopher Lloyd. Oh, some of the movies are on Tubi. So yeah, go back and watch some of Hulk's old movies from the 80s and 90s.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, of course, yeah, they were all. No, it was just the whole getting to see Hulk Hogan in a movie. Like most of I guess maybe The Rock has put out some half decent movies. But most of the wrestlers that try to go Hollywood, like John Cena, I don't think any of his movies were really that great.
Well, like his first movie, I think, wasn't it The Marine?
Yeah.
And that movie was written for Stone Cold Steve Austin. So
oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right about that. It's amazing that he hasn't really been more. I'm sure he's been approached. I know Stone Cold's been in some movies. He was in The Expendables, I think. But he really hasn't had too many movies. I don't know. Maybe he's just not that type of person. But yeah, The Rock he's done okay for himself, I guess. As far as making the jump from the ring to the big screen, but then he got back in the ring. They all go back. Oh yeah, that's the Hogan's TV show. Yeah, he had his own freaking TV show. So yeah, say what you will about Terry Bollea as a person, but the character of Hulk
Hogan knows
was,
best. Remember that goofy
he had his own
TV show?
Yep, he had his own reality show. So that's saying a lot to be that relevant for what 40 some years. That's pretty impressive. Oh, Cena, that's right. He was the Peacemaker. I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean he's okay. In I liked him. He was funny in oh, what the hell was the Will Ferrell movie? Daddy's Home or something like that, or what the hell is that? What it's called? Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, Cena was in those movies, and he was. I mean, he's a good actor. I'm not saying he's not. It's just the it seems like the movies that the wrestlers get into major roles. Hogan, yeah, Hogan's Heroes. Is that okay? That's what it was. Daddy's Home, yeah.
Hogan knows best.
That's it. Stone Cold doesn't care about movies. I was trying to cue up the clip of that. I had, and Stone Cold says so, but I guess I must have lost it. Actually, I liked Roddy Piper. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. That's probably why I wasn't a Hogan fanboy back in the day, because I liked Roddy Piper, and that was one of Hogan's main nemesis for a couple years there, and whenever Hogan was getting real big. Because Roddy Piper, man, he made me actually believe, his believability factor was so high, because I really used to think that, I'm like, man, Roddy Piper is just an angry, angry person. Like, he made me think that it was real. John Cena should be the next Terminator. Is he... Roddy Piper has a G.I. Joe action figure? They thought he was really Scottish. Yeah, I read the story behind that. I think it's just because he played the bagpipes or something. Like, I think that's all. That's how he got into that gimmick. Is just because for some reason he picked up a bagpipe and was playing it, and it turned into the whole thing. Oh, fairly recently. Yeah, yeah. Roddy Piper was always one of my favorites. Well, Zod, we've been going on for about an hour and a half. That's pretty much all I got for today.
All right, that works.
What do you what's your weekend looking like? You're probably just busy on the whole
editing
thing, huh?
editing One Punch Dan. Yes, sir. It's a big job. And then tomorrow night I'm doing a live stream, a live Q&A stream to talk about the movie and all
what time is that? Like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
That's 9 o'clock my time, so it'll be, I think it's 10 o'clock your time.
Yeah, They Live was a good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. And there you go, say everybody go see Superman. Of course, my plan and schedule for the show is impeccable as always. That's what I do, MG. Just impeccable timing on everything. Yeah, SummerSlam this weekend too. Yeah, I don't know. I still got a lot of housework to catch up on. I'm pretty sure my gutters are completely packed full of crap. I think I'm gonna have to climb around on my roof this afternoon, which I'm not looking forward to. But it's one of those things. One of those things. Yep, a shout out. We didn't really touch on Ozzy hardly at all, but yep, he was on the thumbnail. There's been a lot of cool pictures that people have been making. Todd, yep, go and yell at James Gunn some more.
No, not today. I don't have to yell at him today.
MG, that is exactly my format. Part 1. Yeah, talk about random stuff like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer video games. We got onto wrestling because Hogan passed away. Part 3, randomly end. Usually when my stomach starts rumbling, I'm like, okay, 11:30 my time, and I still haven't eaten anything today. Only thing I've consumed is 16 ounces of Monster, which is probably very, very unhealthy on an empty stomach. But everybody, yeah, and I appreciate all you guys showing up today. Zod, same with you, man. Thanks for
you're
doing
very
this.
welcome.
'Cause it
Anytime.
wouldn't be that much fun sitting here talking to
yourself.
myself, you know. It's
Talking
good
to
get some other opinions on some stuff. And if all goes well, if all goes according to plan, we will be back for another jumbled mess of a stream in 2 weeks. And yes, same to you, Hockey Town, and same to everybody else. Again, appreciate all you being here. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. So have a good weekend, everybody.
Sounds good. Have a great weekend.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.